Let's talk about what happens when a country stops talking about fixing its democracy and actually does it. Not with slogans and not with speeches, but with real, tangible, tech-driven action. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Ghana, a nation that is literally showing the world how to rebuild trust from the ground up.
Let's just ask it straight up. Can a country truly fix a broken democracy? It's a huge question, right? Especially in a world where it feels like every other election leads to disputes and doubt. It's really easy to get cynical and think, no way.
But what if the answer is a massive, resounding yes? Well, that's exactly what's happening in West Africa. Ghana took this challenge head on. They didn't just patch up their system, they completely re-engineered it. And that's why this isn't just a political story. It's a blueprint for change. Okay, so to really understand just how big of a deal their solution was, we have to understand the problem. And for that, we need to rewind the clock to 2008, a year when Ghana's democracy was staring right over a cliff. The whole crisis really exploded because of this one number, less than 1%. That was the margin of victory in the 2008 presidential election. Think about that. A razor-thin result like that immediately triggered street protests, bitter political fights, and just a massive nationwide wave of suspicion. And you know what? The public had every right to be suspicious. The system itself was full of holes. We're talking outdated voter lists that were just riddled with errors, old-school paper ballots that could easily be manipulated, and a really high risk of people voting more than once. The entire foundation was just shaky. And that led to this one question being asked everywhere, from cities to villages. Are these results even real? This cuts right to the heart of the matter. Because when citizens can't trust the outcome of an election, the whole democratic experiment is in danger. Ghana knew they had to find a real convincing answer, and fast. So, how did they pull it off? How did they rebuild that trust? Well, it wasn't a quick fix. It was a deliberate, step-by-step overhaul. A complete re-engineering of how they run their elections with technology right at the center. The whole reform really rested on two game-changing pillars. First, back in 2012, they rolled out biometric voter registration. This meant capturing a unique identifier, a fingerprint, for every single voter. Then, and this was the crucial next step, in 2016, they brought in biometric verification right there at the polls. So, what does that actually mean in practice? Well, think of it like a high-tech bouncer at every single polling station. Before you get your ballot, you scan your fingerprint. The system instantly checks to make sure you are who you say you are, and, this is key, that you haven't already voted somewhere else. If the machine flashes green, you vote. If not, you don't. It is a simple, direct, and powerful way to lock the system down against fraud. And really, this is the beauty of it. All that technology, all that planning, it was all in service of making this one simple, foundational idea an undeniable reality. One person, one vote, period. The goal was to totally eliminate duplicate registrations, get rid of so-called ghost voters, and build a system that everyone, no matter who they voted for, could actually believe in. Okay, so they rolled out these massive changes. That all sounds good on paper, but the real question is, did it actually work? Let's take a look at the results because the transformation is pretty stunning, both in the hard data and in the minds of the Ghanaian people. Get ready for this number. 70%. That's how many Ghanaians now say they trust their electoral commission, according to the Afrobarometer surveys. This wasn't just a technical upgrade, it was a fundamental trust upgrade. That's a huge deal. And to put that 70% number into global perspective, check this out. Public trust in Ghana's election system is now way higher than the average in many established democracies across Europe and the Americas. Think about that. Ghana isn't just trying to catch up anymore. In many ways, it's actually leading the pack. And that newfound trust, it translates directly into action. Since these reforms were put in place, voter turnout has consistently been above 68%. It's a pretty simple formula, right? When people truly believe their vote matters and that it will be counted fairly, they show up. And this is absolutely crucial, it wasn't just about the fancy tech. Ghana knew that technology alone wasn't enough. They also reformed the human systems around it. They made appointments to the Electoral Commission transparent to cut down on political meddling. They gave every political party a seat at the table to monitor what was going on. And they empowered independent civic observers, like the group CODIO, to act as a nonpartisan watchdog. They built a powerful system of human checks and balances to support the technology.
So when you put it all together, the result is it's night and day, a complete transformation. Ghana went from high-tension elections to peaceful transitions of power, from vulnerable paper ballots to rock-solid biometric security, and most importantly, from widespread public doubt to incredibly high public trust. So what's the big lesson here for the rest of the world? Well, Ghana's story has become more than just a local success. It's now a blueprint for hope, a potential roadmap for any other nation that's struggling with these same deep issues of democratic trust.
And believe me, the world is taking notice. This isn't just some academic case study. Delegations from Kenya, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, they are all flocking to Ghana to study exactly how they did it. It's creating this amazing ripple effect of hope across the continent and beyond.
And that's why, at the end of the day, this is so much more than a success story. It's really a hope story. It's powerful proof that democratic decline isn't some unstoppable force. It shows that with real commitment and smart reforms, a country can absolutely turn the ship around.
And I think this quote from a Ghanaian citizen just says it all perfectly. We might not agree on who wins, but we can trust the process. That right there, that's the bedrock of a stable democracy. It's not about loving the result. It's about believing the result is real. And that is what Ghana has built.
So maybe the lesson from Ghana is that democracy isn't this fragile thing that's either working or broken. Maybe it's more like a project that needs constant care, constant rebuilding, and constant innovation. Ghana has given the world a new blueprint. The only question left is, who's next?